right, welcome to Sport Talk on Enterprise TV, where we give you all the latest from what is happening in the world of sport. This is the midweek edition where we definitely talk about what happened in the UEFA Champions League last night between Inter Milan and, of course, Barcelona. If you are joining us for the first time, please do well to follow us across all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. My name is John Olasukomi. Join me and let's ride together. Joining me in the studio this wonderful afternoon is Innocent Adoluga. Good afternoon to you, Innocent.
Yeah, John, it's a good time to be around. There's so much balls in the sporting world.
I know you're a fan of Lautaro Martinez, but before we get to Lautaro Martinez matter, let's just start with local football. You know, they say charity begins at home. All right, high-flying Nigeria Premier Football League new boys, Ikorodu City, will continue their pursuit for a historic continental slot for next season when they welcome Barca United in their match day 36 encounter in Lagos on Wednesday. Of course, the match will be held in Lagos today, Wednesday. And I want us to talk about Ikorodu City. They just came into the MPFL. They're in the semi-final of the President Federation Cup. And now they are also fighting. The league is done and dusted already. Remo Stars has been crowned.
But not for everybody else.
But not for everybody. There is still, you know, in EPL, we always talk about the race for, the top four.
Yeah.
Now we are having 3 slots left. 1 for the CAF Champions League and 2 for the CAF Confederation Cup. If you win the FA Cup, automatically you will play in the CAF Confederation Cup. Okay. And now this is Ikorodu City. They are in the semi-final already of the FA Cup. And now they are 4th on the log table, just 3 points behind Abia Warriors. There is something about this team because a lot of teams have come and gone back. But is Ikorodu City ready to stay?
If you look at the table, Ikorodu intentional, they seem to be a spiritual resurrected team for MFM.
Yes, of course.
Because they've given Lagos a home again. But Ikorodu City 4th. And at 53 points, you have at 11 Shooting Stars at 48 points. Only 5 points separate 4th from 11th. So Ikorodu has the right to be on their toes and keep looking over their shoulders and ensure that this Cinderella run, where they have found themselves, is sustained. Because if you look at that table, there are regulars, dangerous regulars, who are breathing down their neck. Eyimba is right behind them. There is Canopilla at 7, just 3 points behind them. And then if you look on that, Plateau United at 48, Shooting at 48. So Ikorodu is a strange person on that position. But if they push well, who knows? It's 3 more games to go. They've all played 35. If they win all the others, they will stay in that position. But if they lose one, it will change the algorithm. Because
at some point, Shooting Stars were dragging the league with Remo Stars and, of course, Rivers United. And you just mentioned they are number 11 on the log table. That is how dangerous MPFL is, most especially when you are playing on the road. And Ikorodu City will be playing at home today. On paper, you expect them to have the 3 points.
Well, yes. I think they are playing against Barca. And it's a dangerous fixture for them. Barca United are 4 points behind Ikorodu at 9 positions. If Barca 49 points, Ikorodu 53 points, that's a touching distance, which can be covered in about 2 matches, a win, a draw. So Barca can be hopeful. But I think the noise, Ikorodu will be another San Siro.
Come on, don't talk about
the Lagos,
the Mobolaji Johnson or Stadium.
Yes, will be a big, most time the Lagos fans are happy to have a home team to cheer. I think Ikorodu, it's their match to lose. That's how I'll put it.
All right, let's take a look at other fixtures. Academy Warriors will host Remo Stars. Remo Stars are the champions already. Lobby Stars versus Nasarawa United. Nigeria Tornadoes versus Abia Warriors. Rivers United versus Enugu Rangers. Bendel Insurance versus Aqua United. Shooting Stars will host Sunshine Stars. Katsina United versus Kano Pillars. Eyimba versus Kwara United. Atlant versus Plateau United. Ikorodu City versus Bayelsa United. Away from the NPFL, let's move straight to the camp of the Flying Eagles. Flying Eagles captain Daniel Bame is confident that the team will come out with all they have to defeat Kenya in their last group match at the ongoing African Under-20 AFCON in Egypt on Wednesday today. And Nigeria have also won the Under-20 AFCON 7 times. When we talk about the most successful country when it comes to Under-20, if we want to talk about the Under-17 globally, you don't know Nigeria have won it so many times. And yes, this Under-20, we've won it in 83, 1983, 1985, 1987, 1989, 2005, 2011, 2015, and we're runner-ups two times. Do you believe that we have what it takes to top the group today when we face Kenya, the whipping boys in the team?
Well, it's a must-win for Flying Eagles. Coach Aliyu Zubairu has warned his boys not to underrate the rising stars of Kenya, and it's the final group game. This is the kind of match you used to cement your position so you can carry the confidence and momentum going into the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. Kenyan coach Salim Babu have already said that Nigeria will be under pressure. I think the game is holding in Cairo.
Yes, of course.
The June 30 Air Defense Stadium in Cairo. And so it's a neutral ground. Both teams should take advantage of the neutrality and blame defeat on nothing. Nigeria is on the ascendancy. Kenya they are without a win in that group. They've fallen to both Tunisia and Morocco, and you know that the North African youth system is formidable.
Yes, of course.
But Nigeria has grit. You've already rolled out our records, and from the first two, we have a win. We have a draw. And we are a 7-time champion. So that is overwhelming record we are taking. So I think Zubairu knows what is at stake. He has a lot of predecessors. I'm talking of youth coaches,
yes, of course,
who have gone and conquered. He should be ambitious to have his name in that.
For example, Samson Siasia, one of those ex-international that led the Under-20 I could remember in Netherlands 2005, he played against Lionel Messi's side. He lost. He won the Nations Cup with them. So I think he should definitely leverage, like you said, on this record.
He should. Yes.
All right, I think the only thing they did now is just to avoid defeat.
Well, you have to aim for the stars, so you can end in the skies. Because if you want to go for a draw and you sleep, it will become a defeat. Nigeria should go for broke against Kenya.
No, the 3 point is important.
It is. Not knowing what your opponents will play, but if that is looking dicey, then you cage your opponent to come out with a draw. You don't just go. I mean, if the Kenyans have been beaten by every other person in the group, Nigeria should grab their own national cake from the head of Kenya.
All right, let's just wish the Flying Eagles all the best against Kenya this evening. Away from the Under-20, let's move straight to the UEFA Champions League. They now call it Night of Champions. If your team is not playing the Champions League, I don't know the team that you're supporting. Maybe innocent that you're supporting Manchester United. No offense, but let's see how it goes. They are trying to pass through the back door to come to the Champions League. And before we talk about Inter, there was a time, I mean, not like last week, Arsene Wenger said something about Europa League. He said if you win Europa League, you just play Europa League next season. There is no need for you to, to go through the Champions League through Europa League. Do you agree with Arsene Wenger? Why is he coming out this time? It has been like that since ages.
He's a staff with UEFA or FIFA, one of those two.
Yes,
so, and sometimes people could express themselves in their thoughts. You don't need to kill a man for his thoughts. The world is an arena for ideas. They will tell you in one of the courses I studied, Ellis theory, that history is a graveyard of ideas. It's a graveyard of aristocracies. So Wenger does not want to take his idea to the grave. There may be nonsense in that idea. There may also be sense in the idea. But let the system go the way it is. When the time comes and people find that idea worth considering, who knows? We didn't know there will be a conference league, for instance.
Yes, of course.
Somebody may have muted the idea at the time. It may not have been palatable. So I take ideas as they come, but it doesn't mean as soon as they come, they must be implemented impulsively, no?
All right, let's go straight to the match that went down yesterday. Inter Milan versus Barcelona. David Frattesi, that is his name, struck the decisive goal in the 99th minute of extra time to seal Inter Milan's dramatic 4-3 win over Barcelona in a Champions League semi-final thriller at San Siro on Tuesday night, sending the Italians through 7-6 on aggregate. The last time I saw this kind of a result, it was against, it was between Liverpool and Roma. I think that was 2019 or thereabout, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, we saw another fantastic performance from both sides yesterday. I know you are a fan of Lautaro Martinez. That has been one of your best striker presently. How do you rate? Okay, let me say, what did Inter Milan, what did they do right last night against Barcelona?
You know, football is awesome, sweet, magic is an art. Yesterday's match was like final, you know. How do I put it? It's a game between structure and chaos. Yeah, it's a game like carried poetry and panic. It's a game of fluent attack and solid defending. And you can know who stands on what corner. Lamine Yamal was fluid.
At 17.
He did everything he could, including finding spaces where there were none. His support cast were fantastic. Olmo, Rafinha, and all others. And Barcelona in Italy struck fear, terror, into the spines of all the faithfuls, all the fans of Inter Milan, with that magical comeback. At a time, you would say the treble dream of Hansi Flick is alive. But the Italians are strategists. The Italians are assassins. The Italians will invade you when you are least. Look at the third goal that leveled the tie.
At the 93rd minute.
What's his name?
Acerbi.
Acerbi.
They are just 3 minutes away from playing the final.
And the Italians were spirited from the energetic wing back, the Dutchman, Dumfries. Denzel Dumfries. In the middle of the park, they were critical. There was a battle there leading to the substitution of the Armenian veteran, Henrik Mkhitaryan. But Inter Milan knew just when to strike. And the Barcelona, they were excellent, except to win the game. So you cannot even blame. There is no place to blame. A winner needed to emerge.
Yes, of course.
I would say the Barcelona exit, I will blame it if there is a point to blame in the kind of result they recorded from Camp Nou.
I think we should also give kudos, flowers to the 36-year-old man in between the stick for Inter Milan. Talking about Jan Sommer, the goalkeeper. He also won the man of the match yesterday with some fantastic saves from the likes of Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres.
He proved the boots of course, Rafinha had a goal after a second attempt, but he proved the boots of, including Rafinha, Yamal, Torres, Olmo, he proved their boots to be juvenile because he himself has seen it all. 36-year-old, I think, barring some of his heroics, Inter Milan would...
this is the man that they sold, what is it for, Onana for? What, 50 million? And they signed him for just £5 million.
Well, Man United is a supermarket. Don't let's go there. I doubt if Andre Onana will be resuming next season with Man United as a first choice goalkeeper. Because if you look at his predecessor, Davide here, he's enjoying life in Fiorentina. I can't even understand why this was, but putting Sommer at the topic of this subject is part of the grit I told you Italians are known for.
I think this Champions League have given some of underrated players a chance to even prove to the world that they are they are a better player. Talking about Nuno Mendes of Paris Saint-Germain and this same Dumfries. Before now, nobody used to rate Dumfries.
Well,
until this semi-final, 2 goals, 3 assists against Barcelona, a team like Barcelona.
Well, Denzel Dumfries is a diehard. You know, I think he is from the bloodline of what was that man's name now? The Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk.
Van Dijk.
And their winger, who was a flop at Man United. He has a name, Memphis Depay.
Memphis Depay.
They are an energetic bulk. You could see that in some of the lineage of the Dutch, coming down their spine in the middle with Edgar Davids, Clarence Seedorf,
and the Van Bomen.
Yeah, you know, so the Overmars, lots of them, you know, and he was well complemented by his defensive colleagues. You could see the rock in Stefan de Vrij. They all knew what was at stake. And Inter is a team reputed for scoring defenders. If we talk about Dumfries, you can now come back to Francesco Acerbi. And then...
And of course, Bastoni. I was like,
you know,
where did they get this guy from?
And then Man United rejects was flourishing. Matteo Darmian. Of course, Federico Di Marco. So there was a wall, there was a plan, there was a script, but it was an edge of the seat game. End to end, not good for the faint-hearted.
Come on, don't even talk about it.
Because even the coaches, at some point, lost confidence. This time around, Simone Inzaghi is glorious. The next time, Barcelona has shut him off, and the Flick is on the rise. Next, he doesn't know, and all of them threw in their trump card, including a half-fit Lewandowski, hoping to salvage something. I don't know if the final will have this.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
The last time I felt this kind of, you know, aura in the Champions League was in 2005, Liverpool against AC Milan, that ended 3-3, and Liverpool won down via penalty shootout. I saw the same thing happen yesterday. And of course, we also give kudos to the coach. You just mentioned his name, Inzaghi. 2 finals in 3 years. That's a good one.
No, I think Inzaghi is the man with a vision, and he's on a mission. Inzaghi, 2 seasons back, fell short in the final to Manchester City. Inzaghi has scanned the Champions League environment for opportunities and risk, and can see that the regulars, the usual suspects, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, are off the way. So for him, who will stop him? He had played with these people before and got to the final. And so, you see, there is a drive in a person bigger than what you see on the pitch. And he has recruited well. Mkhitaryan in the middle, his captain, the one you've been mentioning, he has brought in from AC Milan, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and his midfield is sticking well. Even if you look at the youthful flair from the Dutch midfielder in Barcelona, Frankie de Jong, and his co-assassin, Pedri and Olmo.
Come on, don't even talk about those boys.
So they carried flair, but the ones from Inter Milan carried grit. Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, and of course the support cast, Barella. They know the plot. They stuck to the plot and came out with the prize. Inter Milan, I think they are proving that legend, the Italian Serie A, used to be known for. In fact,
during the days of Gattuso, Pirlo, and co.
They are more polished now. They are more polished now. But Inter Milan is the same team with whom Jose Mourinho inspired Diego Milito, the Dutch midfielder Wesley Sneijder, and the Italian assassin Marco Materazzi, with the Argentine veteran Javier Zanetti, and all of them to go out there, including contributions, technical contributions from the Ghanaian Sule Muntari, and African jewel Samuel Eto'o, to bully this same Barcelona then. And it's a tie that had happened before. And in all of it, the triumph has gone the Italian way.
All right, what a match yesterday at the San Siro. And of course, Inter Milan are through to the final 2 times in 3 seasons. Who do you see in the final? Who is joining them? Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain?
Tonight we will be. There is a bigger duel, or there is an equal duel with PSG and Arsenal. It's a battle of two coaches. That's
Luis
what I
Enrique
say.
and Arteta.
Luis Enrique versus
Arteta.
the emerging coach prodigy, Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta is in the right age to etch his name in history. Young coaches have done that before, including this same Enrique, Pep Guardiola, Zinedine Zidane. But the momentum is with PSG. They have all the army and the resources compared to the lean purse at Arsenal. And you look at Arsenal in dicey situations, you wonder if they have any support they can call from the bench, who is an individual match winner. Reckon that where Dembele was substituted versus Arsenal, they could call on Barcola. He may not be at the same shooting range with Dembele, but he's also a threat. Even though he fired blank that day, his blanks cost Arsenal defense trouble. Now, Arsenal also lack a recognized individual match winner. I will say the last time they have that was in the Gabonese.
Aubameyang.
Yes, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. You need in every team an individual that can turn a game on its head. We saw that with Lamine Yamal, with Rafinha on one side. You could see that with Denzel Dumfries, we've mentioned him. Of course, the inter-captain Lautaro Martinez, who for me will be a Ballon d'Or top contender if Inter can clinch this. You know, so Arsenal, they rely on block movement and some of the pivot from the midfield, Declan Rice and Odegaard, but their supplies are lacking men to convert. If you have planted somebody in front of them, but Arsenal can still be hopeful. They are on the back foot. 1 goal deficit they considered at home. Parc des Princes, the stadium is known for partisan crowd. So Arsenal will also be playing against the 11th man. If you ask me, it's a final between Inter Milan and PSG.
Okay.
But the match could go anyway.
All right, let's see how it goes tonight. Night of Champions at Parc des Princes. PSG, we definitely owes the Gunners. Let's see whether they still have that bullet. Because last week when they played their game, a lot of fans came out, a lot of Arsenal fans, that is because of, what is his name? Thomas Partey. Now, Partey was not around, and against Bournemouth, he was on the field and they still lost. So it is not just all about an individual, it's a collective effort. That is football. You can see the way PSG are playing, and no big names, they are just equal. But let's see how it goes tonight, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, Paris Saint-Germain against Arsenal. All right, that is how much we can take on Sport Talk on Enterprise TV 7. If you are here to follow us across all social media, endeavor to do that. We are Enterprise TV 7 across all social media platforms. Visit our website at enterprisetvnews.com and don't forget to like and subscribe. Innocent Aduluga has been great on the show this wonderful afternoon.
Oh, my pleasure. I watched a war game last night, so I'm wondering if we could see something close between Arsenal and PSG.
I know you've offended some people concerning Arsenal PSG. All right, my name remains John Olasukomi. Thanks for watching.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.